Yeah. Yeah. Shit. Grams leaders CCs, pounds. Close cash, close call, close encounter, close up, pounds of leaders of grams, get your dosed up, cut this up, host up, and get dosed up. Before them voted like the movement, make the most of. Monday night at 8, I can't wait to set you straight. These opinions and debates, for them folk they can't relate. I gotta elevate your mind through these signs of the time. Dishing out that medication for that deaf, dumb and blind. And I ain't hard to find, you can catch me in no trenches. I do the groundwork and I ain't waiting on no sense. I be touching on them topics politicians fail to mention. And I don't vote for nobody that ain't got good intentions. I'm really live for my people and I'm here to make a change. I got that true serum hooked directly to your vein. Hey, this is for my people, tune in, catch it close up, close up, close up, a close up, grams of it, tune liters of it, close up, pounds of it. Pounds of it, yeah, grams of it, liters of pounds, get your dosed up, 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 dosed up. Boy, y'all make me feel like I'm in the studio about to lay some down up in here. I just heard them applause, so it's time to introduce who I am. I'm Shootah, aka Dose. This is the Dosed Up Show. It's Monday night. The person that you just heard that's giving us these sound effects and all that other good shit, that's my homie Lab.
What's going on, bro?
We're the usual suspects and we back up in here. Starting the week off for everybody, you know. Weekend, you know, our usual weekend wrap-ups, man. The weekend's going by so fast nowadays. Shit, I don't even know what I did.
Quick, ain't it? It's going by real quick.
Yep. All I remember is helping my uncle pressure wash something and then I punched the clock the next day. So, hey, man, you know, I wish I had something spectacular to tell y'all, but at least I survived, you know, washed my car probably, you know, and did a little bit of meditation and got some information for this show right here, and I'm back at it.
Do you think it's good to just have some weekends where you just don't do anything but decompress?
Yeah, because right now I'm in grind mode. I'm in do whatever I can to achieve success mode. So with that being said, a lot of the goals I have budgets to them, you know, and it's multiple goals. So any weekend that I get to just kind of like sit back, kick it and chill at home, I'm actually saving some money.
Okay.
And I get time to think about how I want to budget the money that I just saved towards the next week and get something accomplished. So
okay.
that's kind of like what these weekends are for. I basically sit your ass down weekend for you tap out with your funds.
Right.
So, but other than that, man, I mean, it's so much, like I say, on my plate, man. You spare time is at a minimum. That's a good thing though, because I ain't letting it stress me.
Are you being? Let me ask you a question. From the old guy in the building. Are you being productive or are you just busy?
Wow, that's a good question. Well, it's always gonna be productive because it's either gonna be making some kind of money or to make some money or to help somebody or to do something. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Really the only time I'm gonna be unproductive is if I'm just trying to relax, you know what I'm saying, and rest. And even then, man, my mind is a muscle, so that's always moving and thinking about something. So you know, once I start accomplishing a lot more and like put an end to these goals, then I might have more time to like just relax, sightsee, and go do some things. But it's looking like that's gonna be a minute from now because I just started a particular group chat. One of the things that I particularly preach to some of my friends are, first of all, like, you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody.
Right.
Most of the time, if you're trying to do something, you need some help with it. Somebody knows somebody that's doing it or that can help you. Well, I got tired of like middleman and all these other things and seeing somebody needed some help and this person can help that person. So now I'm about to group people together with me and start getting certain things accomplished and speed this thing up some.
So you trying to make sure that the middleman is eliminated and connecting these people.
Yeah, I'm putting everybody at the same table. And then as we grow,
we bring people that's like-minded or that have a resource that we need or that's trying to do the same thing. So like right now, let's say I got 2 cameramen and 2 actors in this group.
Okay.
So if the cameraman need an actor, we got 2 actors in the group already. If the actor need a cameraman, we got 2 actors in the group.
Right.
I write, I act. So now we got 3, but a writer. You see what I'm saying? So now I got a partner. He has the camera. So if I invite him into the group, now we have 3 cameramen plus more actors. You see what I'm saying? People willing to do things. After a while, you'll have somebody for everything that you need. You might end up having somebody that can do makeup in the group.
Okay.
Or somebody that can do some costumes. Then, you know, next thing you know, you start getting actresses. And boom, you just start working on a project. You got a project to do.
So what you're doing is you're doing a creatives collective.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
see how I came up with that name for you?
Yeah, I like
Give
that.
myself a
And,
hand clap.
exactly. And I learned that from being in a group of actors, the movie maniacs. But everybody doesn't necessarily move how you move.
Right.
Everybody didn't have the same goal, the same motivation.
Right.
So that's not a knock on nobody. That's learn something from them. And okay, when they're ready to move, you're ready to move, but you're still moving, and I have something else created.
Let me ask you a question. Have you run into any issues within your creatives collective where some people, you know, you have people, like you said, people move differently. And you have it where some people just don't want to do anything. Like they feel like you still in their juice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You post on their page. We talking about social media right now. You post on their page, or they post you on their page that you stealing some of they, you know what I'm saying? Some of they fire.
No.
Have you ran into that?
No. If anything, I have too much fire. I run into people who don't want to move when I move because either that's not their thing, or they want to take their time, or it's overwhelming for them. You know what I'm saying? But on that end, life is balancing for me. So where I have someone where I used to spend multiple time, they be in the studio with me multiple times and did nothing. I got a person in there and knocked out 2 or 3 songs for me. You see what I'm saying? One time.
Okay.
Where I was trying to call someone and get them to come and act when it was time to do this little movie thing. They didn't show up. But now they want to do something. Well, I have someone that was on the site with me, and they came and did some music with me, and they're like, whatever you need me to do, I'm willing to do now.
Okay. So do you trim the fat when that happens?
Oh, yeah. What happens is you just observe, man. Like, I don't put pressure on people. I put opportunities on people. So if you look at that as pressure, or you look at it as I'm trying to get you to do something you don't want to do, that's a missed opportunity for you. Because when it's on and popping and we get everything situated and you start seeing all these uploads and streams of what we got going on, don't try to join in now because you're not going to keep up and we don't really need you now.
Right. Kendra, no name. Kendra, no nickname. How you doing, Kendra? Says, yes, that's me. Y'all all over there talking good stuff. Hey, Kendra, how you doing? I hope you're having a great day.
Wow.
Thank you for tuning in.
Okay.
But look, but on that aspect of things, do you find that they don't want to respond or do anything? Which I'm only talking about this because you talked about the creative collective, and a lot of times we try to do the same thing here. That's why we try to get creatives louder voices and stuff. Let them talk about what they want to talk about. But do you find that it's not because they don't want to do it, it's because they don't believe in you that you can do it?
Okay,
Has that been an issue with you? Like they go to your page, and a lot of people judge things by followers. They go to your page, they be like, oh, you ain't got but 3,000 followers. How you gonna do this? You get what I'm saying?
I look at it like, well, you first of all, you putting the cart before the horse, and you think small-minded if you just based off what I have followers. Because okay, first of all, I have an account. I have this. Some people don't. You see what I'm saying? I have resources. For you to not want to link up, and this is what you do, you could use the resources and you still benefit without having me trying to be controlling. Right. Like I say, I always offer opportunity. So I'll give you an example. All right, so I got a coworker, and he does filming. Okay. So the way I approach is, hey, bro, I heard you do filming. Is there anything you need me to help you with? You need any help with any scripts? You need any help? You need to use a spot for location? You need anyone to do some stand-in acting? You need anyone to help you bring your equipment? I'm asking all these different things before first I say, hey, I need a cameraman.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So
right.
That's many ways he could benefit. And then now, when I say I need a cameraman, now I'm like, what's your fee?
Right.
So why would you not want to fuck with me?
Right.
I just offered ways for I can help you, and then I just offered a way to pay you. So it's like, for those that don't want to get down, I'm like, cool. At some point, you're going to regret it. Not regret it because I'm making you regret it. You're going to regret it because, damn, you could have had some money out of this shit.
Not only that, the connections that you may have created, just because you don't see it visually doesn't mean it's not there.
That
man David says any source is a resource.
Exactly. See, energy is the most important key here in the communication part.
Right.
But a lot of people, it goes over their head because that's a selfish person to me. Then if you sitting there and you just looking at it for like, oh, he ain't doing this, so I can't rock with him.
Right.
I mean, my thing is, if you not doing it and I am, you might be able to learn something.
Right.
You know, like, okay, I'm still benefiting from going to the Tyler Perry studio one time.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I got shit that's still affected by that.
Right.
And I still got the communication and numbers from that.
Right, and then that's the thing. You went to Tyler Perry Studios one time.
Yeah.
Then been in the movie. Then had your house used for a movie.
Yeah.
Then connected with cameramans that actually come to other sets for movies.
Yeah.
Producers and directors and actually come to other sets for movies.
Yep.
Even if it's for a small role, it's still the fact that you made that connection off of one trip. And see, people don't see the side of that. Like when you talk about like us, when we talk about coming down doing an interview with the podcast or whatever, since they don't see that we got 1 million followers or 100,000 folks, they just kick it off to the side. They brush it off as it's not as it's insignificant.
Hey man,
and you know what I'm saying, that mentality in itself will make you not be able to connect with people that can move you forward. Like that man David said, some people are scared of motion.
Not only that, but what they don't see is what I see. I see speakers, I see laptops, I see cameras, I see studio equipment, I see where you can shoot a movie in here, you can DJ something. Like it's opportunity right here.
Right.
But I mean, people, I guess they want to see a paycheck. And I mean, you got to do something to get a paycheck.
Right.
Damn, like, you see what I'm saying? And that's where the perspectives come in, which is what we get ready to talk about. Like how a lot of us shortchange ourselves and we short-sighted because of these quote unquote stereotypes and perspectives or the way that we view things. Like we have to accept it sometimes, you know, and, you know, I think that's a big misconception. Like, yeah, obviously if somebody got a lot of followers, that shows that people are following them. Right. But what are they following them for?
Right.
Some people could pay for the followers.
That's true.
I see a lot of followers on content that I don't like. So that just means that people will follow some stupid shit.
True.
So, I mean, you know, I would rather have quality content and my followers are my tried and true. And they learning and you know they supporting and it's a vibe out there that's actually slowly but surely becoming a movement. Than to just have a bunch of fake ass shit. You see what I'm saying? That people just fly by night. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trending because I'm talking about what everybody else talking about that makes no sense.
And the reason why I get on that and we talk about that is because the topic of the day is perceptions. And what happens is people have a perception of themselves that can be either true or false, negative or positive. And see, like when we do things here, we on the radio station Part 2, and we pay BMI and all that ASCAP. But when we post your music on our Instagram page, just as a such and such is doing, a lot of times they don't even come like their own picture, their own music.
I mean,
and we at you in the post, so or we put your pictures up, or your video is on our page. They don't even bother to come like it. Like it's such a strenuous thing to come to somebody else that you and collaborate with them, let them know you was there to push the like button. Like it breaks their heart.
I mean, because I think that's because people have deep seated in their mind that either they could do it or all it takes is for someone to like their stuff and they could be in the same ballpark.
Right.
But once again, you got to put some work in. You got to put some time in. I mean, just putting a picture up there of yourself, a selfie ain't content. It's material,
Right.
but what's with it? Unless you looking, you know what I'm saying, like these badass Amazons that ain't nobody ever seen, and you just body like bow, like you ain't going viral.
You just said something that a lot of people didn't realize. I didn't even realize till you just said it.
Uh-huh.
That's not content. That's what you just say.
It's material.
It's material.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people don't know. I didn't think about that till you just said it. There is a difference between content and material.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people are posting material and not really content.
Content is engaging.
Right.
A lot of times content is thought processing. Material, like a lot of these people use this platform like show and tell. Ooh, I got this. I look like this.
Right.
But it ain't no content with it. It ain't no face value to it. It is what you. I mean, if it's like me just showing that. Ooh, I got some Tic Tacs or something. Like what that got to do with anything? You know. But I just once again like what it does is it changes people's perceptions, and it also causes trends. But to me. Which is one of the things I wanted to talk about is it's like we buying into dumbing down or buying into the ignorance as far as the perception is concerned. Like a lot of times when you see somebody post something and it's just them doing something intentionally ignorant or wrong, like to support that, to like that, to laugh at these things, to me, man, is like fanning the flame. It's causing a wave or epidemic of people doing crazy things. Like I'll give you an example when there was this little thing went viral where a lady was willing to lick a dumpster for some money and shit. You see what I'm saying? And people post that. It's like, it's so much of that comes across my timeline. Like it makes me want to just shut it down a lot.
Right.
I think a lot of times if we flip perceptions or perspectives as well, and we start trying to post sensible content and sensible material, you know, materialism, because that's what we on to.
Right.
It would change some things. Maybe how we act will start changing. Because we act on a lot of these perceptions. Like I was explaining to people, okay, as far as let's just say, if you went to work or you went to the bank, and the cashier or the person at the bank, the teller, threw your money at you, or threw it up in the air at you, or told you to get naked before you could get your money, would you feel comfortable? But some people perception as far as stripping is a way of making money. You see, and that's accepted, and a lot of it is it even has our young women dressing like that, but they might not even be trying to shake their ass or sell their ass like that.
Right.
But they still act or do the same things, you see what I'm saying, or take on that perspective when I don't think it's proper, at least for that age, or it's a necessity to be like that.
Let me get a couple of comments. Slick says, if you got 1 million followers but you make a post and only get like 10 likes, what does that say? Kendrick No Nickname says, stay away from the shock value. And he said perfectly that people wonder why they can't keep the motion. People are lazy too. That man David says, our people suffer from a lack of knowledge.
Definitely, exactly. Which is why I'm glad you said that, because the knowledge is how we perceive things. Is how we're starting to act. A lot of times we let our environment dictate how we act. When we can change and not necessarily, like, just because, let's say if you were in the projects, you ain't got to litter. Like, you ain't got to dirty some shit up because you think it's supposed to be dirty.
Well, I think a lot of times when people, and I'm sorry, I didn't cut you
off.
No,
you good.
I'm trying to dive in there. I think a lot of times when people don't realize that they don't have to become a product of their environment. A lot of people take on the environment as a coping and defense mechanism of trying to either navigate through that environment if it's a bad environment, or be a part of the environment if they feel that the environment is good and conducive to them. So even though we may be on the outside looking in and be like, I don't know why they doing that, to them, they doing a great thing because they are in that environment and they have adapted to it and they are surviving within it. And survival is one of those things that we have as black folks, we have that mentality automatically. We try to survive as much as possible within the confines of the environment that we are in.
All right, so I get that. I get adapting to survive, but we're also adapting like self-defense because we're trying to take each other's lives within this environment.
Right.
And that ain't cool.
Right.
Like I said, cool, okay, I get it. The environment, it can be hot. Damn, well, I can bring some ice.
Right.
But why does the hot gotta make me bring the heat make me bring bullets? You see what I'm saying? Like, okay, I explained to a pastor that I work with, like, okay, the environment is a skating ring. So why are guns in the environment now? So with that being said, I like to piggyback a little bit off of even older men and younger men, because when I was younger, like, we don't intentionally have to try to fight each other, be tough, or kill each other to try to act like we want to get respect from another black man. Right. Like, where does trying to rob a person or beat up a person or punk them out or intimidate them or try to take their woman or anything negative towards them, how does that equal trying to gain respect?
Well, a lot of times within our, me coming from Chicago, a lot of times within our environment, such as one I lived in the west side of Chicago, the environment, and as an older guy, I can't speak for why it's the way it is today, but I can speak for why it's the way it was back then. What happens was, within that confine of that neighborhood, and this is a part of not becoming a product of the environment, within the confines of that neighborhood, if you are not perceived as tougher or as tough as the next person, you become a victim of your circumstances. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of times, even if you may not be tough, you don't want to seem weak. You get what I'm saying? That within certain environments, that's just not the way it's going to be, because you are going to be a victim just by not being perceived as someone who can hold his own.
So my thing is this, right? Let's say I'm a young man, I'm trying to go to school. So where does me having to be tough and where does me having to look like I can shoot somebody or hold my own have anything to do with me just trying to walk out of the house and go to school? Now I tell you this, where it changes as an adult. As an adult, a lot of times you can walk out of the house, go to work, ain't nobody really gonna fuck with you because you're on your way to work.
Right.
But as a youth, this is where it all starts. Because by the time you reach the adult, you know you walking out tough any damn way. You've been street tested or whatever you had to go through. But my thing is, we have what we call street knowledge or street sense, and then we got the educated or whatever.
Right.
And it's preferred that we have a little bit of both. And this is from our women too. Like, but where does maybe not banging on somebody or not being an aggressive ass person or not being an ignorant, just all out thug, where does that come where you're not tough? Like, how can you not, why can't you just be book smart and still be tough? Like, seriously, like.
You answer your own questions with that, because book smart is not considered tough. But at the same time, I don't think that we are guilty of just that. You know, a lot of times we're talking about perception. A lot of times the perception is that we are that, and most of the times we are not that, because I'm going to give you a good example. The perception is that black men don't take care of their children. But you know that not to be true, because you have a child you take very good care of. Every black man that I know takes care of their children. So I can't necessarily say that all black men don't take care of their children, but that's the perception that is put out there, and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
I hate to blame everything on the internet, but the internet is the problem. A lot of these perceptions that we have that we're going to go through is because internet, not just internet, but regular media, news media, magazines, all media, period, pushes these images and perceptions forward to a point to where it seems like all of us do it.
Okay, so with that being said, though, why do we have a group of people that want to be savages, that want you to be scared of them, that look intimidating, and their purpose is to intimidate you? Like, you know what folks look like and what they do when you see them out on the streets, or when you engage, or when you walking around them. Like, a lot of people don't want to look approachable.
Right.
And I mean, they expect to get a positive reaction or vibe from that. Like, you want to be a killer, you want to be You want to be that person that don't nobody fuck with. So, and it's numerous people out here on a daily basis. So, how are we supposed to engage when we're around them? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know if they necessarily want to be. I think it's more of the fact that I don't know you. I don't know why you here, why you over here. So I'm going. My thing is, I don't want you doing under me. So I'm going to give you this image of this. This ain't what you want. You get what I'm saying?
But why not have an image of peace, my brother, like how we used to have?
Yeah, we used to have that image. And
like,
again, I'm
what
going
happened
to
to
tell
the
you
energy?
why. I'm going to tell you why the perception is that you have to be this way or suffer the consequences. So a lot of times it's not necessarily. I guess the issue that I'm having is we've got to understand that a lot of these images that are pushed forward and the perceptions that we have are not coming from us. I mean, I get what you're saying about being in the neighborhood, and I'm trying to play devil advocate with you, and have a back and forth that we can engage in. And I'm not trying to be combative, but what I want us to understand, me and you as my brother, is to understand that a lot of these images that are pushed forward and perceptions that we have of these images are not pushed forward by us. Now, you may be in the neighborhood, you may be in the hood, because I've been in the hood, and I feel the same way you feel. Like, why are they standing right there looking crazy? You get what I'm saying? And it may be the fact that that's just how they get through to survive that neighborhood.
So this is what I want to say. Okay. Because this got to make it hit home. A lot of the times when I go on my reels, and a lot of the times I get IG, you know, I can see posts and it'll be people fighting in the hood, but like a whole clique of people fighting, like just a bunch of shit.
Right.
And I see it, right? And I'm like, obviously they're posting this on their own accord.
Right.
They're doing this.
Right.
All of this ain't some. You can't blame all of it on Big Brother just putting it out there, because a lot of these IGs and these Facebook lives and shit that they doing now,
right,
they're putting this on their own. They putting it on themselves. They going out there doing these crimes or whatever it is they want to do. These, you know.
Right. I get what you're saying, and you're 100% right about that. They are doing it. They are posting this. They are putting that forth. And it's not just all Big Brother, but I want you to understand that a lot of the stuff that we perceive is not just us.
Oh, yeah.
We have a mixture of us, and I'm going to say 95% of it is not us pushing it. I mean, we like you said, we have those ones that post stuff and do things and push stuff on social media and on the internet and in the news that are just terrible. But do you realize that a lot of stuff that we do is more sensationalized than other folks do? You do realize that, right?
Well, this is the thing, but that's what I don't like.
Okay.
Because see, we are top notch. You see what I'm saying? Top of the food chain. So really what I see is we're competing amongst ourselves, which is self-destruction, and those on the side can, one, exploit it,
right,
benefit off of it too.
And that's exactly what they do.
But that's the thing, like, now that we done got into competing, we over there with them too, exploiting our own and competing with them to exploit us rather than stop this shit.
I get it.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
you're 100% correct. And you're 100% right. And I agree with you 100% because that is the case. And and to be honest with you, I don't have no answers to why when we see negative things as black folks in general in our community that we be putting flames and heart emojis by shit. We gravitate to it. We flame that fire. We put that fire, and we
a desire for destruction.
That fire, and it just gravitates to be worse. A lot of times, unfortunately, with social media, and I don't want to take responsibility and accountability off us because we are responsible and accountable for a lot of things that we do. We have to be as people ourselves. We have to be accountable for a lot of things we do. And I don't want to put out that perception that it's not our fault, because some of it is our fault. We do a lot of things that we don't necessarily need to do on an everyday basis. But the idea of going viral, the idea of being able to make money off your social media,
I ain't gonna hurt nobody in the name of doing that.
Fan that flame, and negative or positive, they do things. I'm gonna give you a good example on YouTube. There's a guy, and I forget his name. I don't want to say his name because he has a habit of trying to sue folks. A little white boy who does some of the meanest, undisrespectful stuff on YouTube to folks, but he's done it so much and he's so disrespectful and just so, visceral to people that he has to have bodyguards. But he makes so much money. He's probably pulling down $1.2 million a year off his YouTube page alone. Then he has an OnlyFans page where he hosts women. So then he pulls another $600,000 or $700,000 off of that every year. So the idea that he's so visceral, so mean, so disrespectful, just a violent person in general, we still watch it. We still make him money.
Here's the thing.
And he's going to keep doing it. He said it. I'm going to keep doing it this way.
So here's the thing. What happens when we continue to let that kind of shit run us into the ground to the point where you never know. One day folks just may wake up and be like, you know what? We got a new form of income nowadays where money and you ain't going to be able to make no money off of all of this right here.
Right.
Then what type of importance would they have? And they would have spent all this time doing shit like that to the point where now you fall on your ass and you ain't gonna have nothing to fall on because you took your time dumbing down, not learning the trade, not being anything productive. Like it take more than I just do more than think and use my mouth in life. Right. You see what I'm saying? So
do you think that they think that they're not being productive though with the amount of money that they're making?
I mean, see, money don't make you productive. Money don't make me. Money just make you have money. That's all. Money just makes it so you can buy shit.
I get what you're saying, but I'm talking about in their perception, in their eyes, not yours.
Oh yeah, you gonna think you productive because people paying you.
Right.
But people can pay you to clean up shit.
Right.
So that don't mean you like to do it. That mean you can get paid. People will pay you to lick a garbage can.
If they were paying you $1 million a year to pick up shit,
I would do it gladly. $1 million. But see what I'm saying? But that's that though. But that's not harming nobody. That's not putting anything ignorant in nobody's head. Like at some point, man, my conscience is just be like, man, I'm doing more harm than the money worth.
Yeah, conscience is good. But a lot of people don't have that issue.
So, okay, this is another perception I want to ask then. Or do you think women may be insecure if they have the BBLs, the fake, basically a damn costume, like fake lashes, fake tits, fake eyes, fake nails, fake hair, fake all that, you know what I'm saying? Do you think that's a sign of insecurity? Do you think that's a sign of they feel like they trying to bring their inner beauty out? Is it competition or what? Because as men, a lot of it we don't give a shit about. Right,
and it's not, you hit it on the head. We said competition. I find just by listening to women, a lot of times they do them things that type of stuff for each other.
Yeah, and
to compete with the next woman. You know what I'm saying? To look better or feel better than the next woman. Because to be honest with you, like you just said, we don't give a fuck about none of that.
No.
Most of the time, we love you. We love you regardless to how you look, or you go get a BBL, or if you got a bunch of makeup on. We love you as the person. We don't necessarily need all that because we got with you before you had all that. Most of us.
And I'm gonna say too, man, like a man is most comfortable waking up with something that he know look good rather than like I want you looking good 24/7 without the makeup and all that. That way I got an idea, you know what I'm saying, what I have.
Right.
To me, I ain't gonna say you hiding anything because makeup can enhance.
Right. But it should be used that you hit it right there.
You don't need it.
Yeah. You don't need it.
And I would also, I mean, it to me too, some of it look fantasy like. And it's like a lot of these women be trying, I guess they still a little girl or a Barbie at heart because that stigma ain't gone nowhere yet.
Right.
You know, and quiet is kept from what I can see. Even the low key shy girls, the plain Janes, something about that body they gotta have because they be wearing them tight ass scrubs and everything else too.
Right.
And so, and you be like, you not even like that. You ain't even for the streets, but you want your shit popping.
Right.
So it's like, I think they doing it now. Some of it's for competition, but I guess they got to do it now because ain't nobody gonna look at them if they don't.
Yeah, they don't have to do it. They don't. Their perception is like while we talk about perception, I believe that their perception is that they have to do it. You know, it's a difficult thing to talk about that without saying, you know, I didn't know anything about BBLs until I got on social media, and unfortunately, that's just the way it is for me.
Well, it's a cheat code, man.
It is a cheat code.
It ain't really for. It don't age well.
Do you see it when you be on social media? Do you see women liking posts of me? Men liking posts of women reading books? Do you see that?
I mean, if she look good enough, they gonna say it.
If she just
hey, man,
plain
look.
Jane. She ain't naked with her booty out reading the book. She just
Beauty
sitting
is
on the couch.
See, if
reading
you
the
a
book.
ladies man, if you love women, you're gonna see the beauty in that shit. Yeah, that's actually sexy. A woman reading a book. Give me a librarian lady, goddamn, with a little shirt, barely, you know, that little bitty button right there, whatever, with them glasses on and all that. Like, leave something for the imagination. I can tell if you fine. Anyway, I've seen enough women to know this, bro. Like, seriously, like, so you ain't fooling nobody with nothing up under there.
Right.
I mean, you just, if you letting it show, you letting it show. But I just say be tasteful with it.
Right, and you're exactly right. Slick says, when did you say no, baby? I can't talk to you because you got too much makeup on. I guess Slick is trying to say, when did you?
When I saw it, it could be today. Yeah,
okay.
It could be because what's up under that paint?
Right.
So what I'm gonna say, you got a paint job or makeup on? Like,
right.
Which one? Now, you know, like a little foundation, blush, whatever y'all be calling it, be all right, man.
Right.
But some of this stuff be magic, boy, like sorcery from what I be seeing. And I'm like, no, just be natural. Like.
Just be regular.
We trying to make it easy for y'all.
Right.
All right, so the next perception that I want to talk about is like if we used to say, right, it takes a village to raise a child. Mm-hmm. How is it now that like a lot of people don't have love for their family, or like the family structure is being broken? One parent is supposed to be sufficient. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Oh no, I don't really think that. First of all, you need both, but at least some an uncle, a brother. You see what I'm saying? A cousin, you know, a mentor that's a male, and a woman.
Right.
And you do need other family members that can help out. But a lot of times, you know, if somebody step in, it's like, man, you ain't his daddy, or you ain't this and that. But then we expect, you see what I'm saying, that for that child to be disciplined. But if the mom don't, then how they gonna act?
See that, and you answered your own question right there. But when you said that, because people don't want you disciplining their children, people don't want you talking to their children. That's why the village has disappeared. I mean, think about when I was growing up. If I did something on my block and my best friend's mom saw it, I was in trouble, regardless. Mm-hmm. Something was gonna happen to me to where I was gonna be disciplined in a way that I knew not to do that again. And then she was gonna march me down to my grandmama's house and say such and such happened. Then guess what? I'm gonna be in trouble again. It's not gonna be no situation where my grandma was gonna say to her, don't be talking to my grandson that way. Don't be trying to tell my grandson what to do. Because for one, that's an adult. She saw what I did. She was there. She's an eyewitness to it. But nowadays, it's the opposite way. People don't want to get involved in nobody else's life because they don't want the drama and trouble that comes with it. So I just stay away from it and step away from it and not be involved in it.
I mean, so my thing is this. I'm 50-50. Like, I don't really get involved in people's shit either, but you got to look at it like this. If I see a kid and he doing something that he really shouldn't be doing, and his parent is there and they ain't saying shit, who am I to say something? Because if I do, now I got to take on both of them. You see what I'm saying?
And
because
you shouldn't say nothing in that situation because the parent is there. The parent sees what's going on. Yeah. Obviously, the parent condones it. That's not your problem. Man,
but it be a lot of times, man, that shit don't need to be condoned. Then what do you do? Like, it's a bad habit and trait for the kid to be doing.
And that's gonna be for the parent to deal with when the time comes.
So what do we do when we see the child doing something and no parent is around and it's negative or whatever? Do we step in or do we let it go?
If you feel that it's necessary for you to step in and that child's gonna be receptive to what you're saying, why not? But at the same time, if you don't feel like it, because you can tell when a child's gonna be receptive to what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know a lot of times I can tell I get cursed out by someone.
Right, and why bother? Why even see? A lot of times, yes, we want the black family to be together. We want black folks to be one and be strong and move forward together as one. But a lot of times it's too late. Like I say with us, with our generation, we got to try to work towards the next generations because unfortunately our time is up. We can't make things better for us. We got to try to make things better for our grandchildren and our grandchildren's children because our time is up. None of the stuff that we want to see happen now is going to happen because it's too late. We need to move. We already infected the next generation. So it's time to move on and try to figure out that next generation and try to make things better for them because our time is up. It's not going to happen in our lifetime. It's too late. Our summers are limited.
So I look at it like it's never too late. Because till like we gotta plant the seeds till our last breath. So let's say if I got 20 more years of on this planet, I'ma treat them 20 more years like bam, let's go like just like what you said, like there's still some type of hope for something. Like it ain't nothing that I really want to see that ain't been done. How can I say it in a sense that I'm not trying to do on my own? Like I don't look for no politicians or nobody to do shit anyway. So I would say, what would somebody be waiting on in that sense? Like I'm not waiting on speaking to my people. I'm not waiting on trying to help people. I done gave damn near all the money I've had to certain people. So
no, you shouldn't wait on that. I'm not saying don't do it now and don't try to do it now. I'm not saying that. I'm just trying to say that we need to realize that any effect we have on change, we may not see in our lifetime. But we can affect that change and start that change to where our grandchildren and grandchildren's children pick it up and make that change happen in their lifetime. You get what I'm saying?
The changes that I've been seeing have been changes through agenda. And so I fight that shit every day. Because these changes are meant to set us back or offset us or control us for like generations to come. So with that being said, I spend every day trying to instill into my daughter and those that are around me shit that can offset what they gonna have. Because like you said, they got a project, what 25 supposed to be coming up. Like they just thought of that shit today or something, man. If it's a project 25, that shit was thought of years ago.
That's been since Reagan.
Thank you. And it's for some 100 years to come. You know what I'm saying? So like
that's what I'm saying about us. You said it right there. It's not that we're going to affect that change now, but we need to put stuff into place to where it affects it down the road. You get what I'm saying? Like with the Project 25, they've been doing that stuff since Reagan. Those ideas.
It ain't nothing but renewing the same shit, but up under different guys.
Right. They played the long game. We need to start playing the long game.
That's what I wanted to talk about too. Next, like instant gratification into the tomorrow ain't promised, so you live fast and die young mentality that we fucking adopted. That shit don't work when it's 30 years later.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like when I was 16 and in high school, they tried to feed me that, oh, you ain't gonna live to be 21. Oh man, fuck that shit, push it to the limit and all this other things. And you tear yourself up. You make bad decisions, but you want to live longer. You're supposed to want to live to your 60, 70, and 80. So why would you not try to plan for a future? Why would you crash out? Why you want the instant gratification in there? Put some time in it. Put some consistency in it. Repetition with it. You see what I'm saying? You lose all of that. You lose patience when you want instant gratification. You lose patience when you want to live for the day and not plan for tomorrow. Shit, even Aesop's Fable told you that shit. As a kid, you know what I'm saying? Store something away for the wintertime. In the summertime, you ain't gonna die in the summer. You know, and not make it to the winter. You want to make it to the winter. Right. So think of your golden years as your winter. So store some shit up in the summertime. Store wisdom up. You know what I'm saying? Your finances, get your mind right in your youth.
And you're right. And I think a lot of times where when you're younger, you have a hard time seeing the future. You have a hard time realizing that there's going to be a future for you. Especially when you're in the environment you're in. And I don't want to blame everything on the environment, but I'm gonna give you a good example. When I grew up in high school, I could have easily crashed out because I was struggling just trying to eat every day. But I figured a lot of kids don't have this mentality. They don't have the sense to try to think of ways to eat, to try to figure out what to do. And I said to myself, okay, well, especially in the summertime months, I used to go to school early during wintertime just to get something to eat. But in the summertime months, you say to yourself, well, shoot, school closed. How am I going to eat now? Because, you know, I'm struggling to figure out how to eat. Of course, I go down to my best friend's house and eat, but you don't want to do that every day because you don't want to get the possession that you're starving to death. It was free at that time. All you had to do was sign up. So I signed up for summer school every summer. Went, got breakfast and lunch. I had to figure out dinner, but I probably would go to my friend's house to eat dinner. But you get breakfast and lunch. And then once I found out that, hey, I'm here, I'm getting credits for it, I might as well just go to class. And I started going to those 4 classes every summer just so I could eat breakfast and lunch. You get what I'm saying? Those things right there, a lot of kids don't have those outlets anymore. You don't even have recess in school. Summer school is definitely not free. So a lot of the things that we would think that children would try to figure out how to navigate around, they don't have those outlets anymore. And as much as we want to sit here and say they got to figure it out, why they want to do this, because they just don't have the outlet. So they don't have a way to express themselves in a way that might be conducive to their better future.
Here's the thing, like, they may not have an outlet, but they got a brain. So
but we got to figure out a way the outlet for them to use their brain.
So first of all, they got to think then, because all right, when I was hungry, if I'm young and I'm hungry, first of all, I had to understand that's a sign of needing help. If you hungry and you ain't got no way of getting it, okay, so you need a little help or some assistance or something, right?
I get what you're saying, but
with that being said, hold on, here go the thing. So if I need some help, wouldn't it make sense for me to try to help somebody else, offer something or do something? I know I need something, right? So that, to me, if I'm hungry and I don't have a way to do it, that's considered as a weakness to me. To me.
Okay.
Now, so either I'm gonna be angry because I'm in a situation where I need something. Now, why would I take that out on the next person? So once again, I'm gonna figure out either how to work for it and get some money because I know food costs, or I'm gonna try to trade for it. I'm gonna try to earn it, basically.
You know what the problem is, and Slick says, let it go because their parents may not let them do whatever they want. This is talking about parents. Do whatever they want. But now you get fucked up trying to save a kid of a unappreciative family. And she just said it's not that easy. And I'm going to agree with her on that. It's not that easy because think about this. The Water Boys thought of a way to do it. Now, granted, they did some things that probably wasn't necessary. But at first, it was a kind of, they were selling water, trying to get money, maybe to eat, maybe to figure out a way to pay some bills, maybe to this. But it became such a problem because nobody wanted to see them at that stop sign or at that stoplight selling water to them. And then it became more of a problem because then you get the bad apples to join the bunch and they start breaking in cars and robbing folks at the stop sign to where everybody's got to go.
Guess what you can do? You can try to sell water in your neighborhood. You can go to a park and sell water. I think this was in their neighborhood. This was in their neighborhood. When you take it from the neighborhood to the street, anything goes. Like, you can look at it. But you can look at it like, oh yeah, them young boys are some hustlers. But yeah, them young boys now have endangered themselves to a degree because you out there in the element, anything can happen. You get run over by a car, somebody could try to rob you. You can be in the mental health people, homeless people, whatever. And you young, man. You see what I'm saying? So where's your parental supervision at some point?
I know you keep saying about parental supervision.
Like, I would never have my daughter out on the corner selling shit.
Right.
I don't care for the premises of nothing.
I get what you're saying, but it doesn't work that way for all parents. Some parents work a lot trying to make ends meet. My mother had issues, so I didn't have necessarily the parental vision that you would say we would need because that just didn't happen. But at the same time, I did try to figure out ways in order to so I can eat and maybe so she can eat. So I did try to figure out those ways and
so.
I guess what I'm trying to get at is that you're saying, like, what does it Yeah.
All right,
I'm
so
drawing a blank on
all right,
that
so
real
here's the
quick,
thing.
'cause I just
I
don't
could
think
tell
it's
you
that
this.
easy.
I could tell you this because a lot of the times we getting back to parents, right? And at some point, I'm gonna say, as an individual with a brain, and at certain ages, you gotta understand how to decipher something for yourself and have common sense. And I say that to say this, man. I've been doing some crime, bruh, ever since elementary school. So I had a thought process back then to do it. Now, when I was doing things, in my mind, I'm scoping out the scene. I know there's a consequence and a repercussion for what I'm doing. I know what I was doing was wrong. I know I didn't want my mom doing it. I know I didn't have no money. I know exactly why I was doing it.
Okay.
Now, I knew. Now, if these people out there and they don't know, that's a problem in itself. Now,
But
I
they
my
knew,
parents
they might
didn't
know, but they still decided to do it just like you said you did. They
Exactly.
may know.
But now there's certain things that I didn't do because I knew, like, all right, I knew not to throw Buddy off the roof when we was
Right,
out there squabbing. You see what I'm
you're
saying?
But everybody is different.
Like,
Just
hold on.
because you
I
do
knew
it-
not to shoot that person when I had my 9 on me and they honked their horn or they told on me.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I could have shot Buddy because he told on me and I'd be in jail now. What is the point? These people don't know this shit.
No, they know. Trust me, they know.
Oh, well, then
If
they
you
want to
knew-
do it.
If you knew, they know.
Okay, so
But they
what's the
just
difference
don't-
then what's the difference now between back in the day I could say something about you and we might not even fight or we fought, whatever. But now if I say something about you, it's shooting me.
Because you just said it earlier. You just said it earlier because you gotta be. If I let you say something about me, then everybody else is gonna say something about me. Then I'm gonna be perceived as weak.
Oh no. But you gotta kill me now, or unalive me now.
Hey, I know what I'm saying. It sounds harsh, but that is the perception
And see,
of the society that we live in,
but
because I don't know
this
what
can't.
you're gonna do to me.
No, man.
I gotta
No.
do you
No.
first. I'm just telling you how these kids are thinking.
But we talking now. We's talking. That's what I'm saying. Like, and then the fact that like, to me, you really, if you can't use your hands to solve a problem, to me, you really, you whack, you weak, you weak. If you gotta go get a gun because somebody said something about you and you can't handle an ass whooping, or you just can't just say, you know what, I can't beat this man up, he talking shit, I'm gonna let it ride. Something wrong with you.
But you talking
it ain't
about
got
why? You talking about why in the title of this show, perception, because the perception is going to be that
ain't nothing
you're
that
weak.
you can say to me gonna make me perceive that I gotta pull out an AR and go at you.
I don't perceive that, but at the same time, we're talking about other people.
It's a lot of other people though.
And
And
we can't say how they all think. We can just say, you can just say what you see and why they doing that or why do they think that, but
it's an issue and it's a problem. Nah, hold on. It's an issue and it's a problem, regardless of how it's perceived. It ain't cool. It ain't gangster. It ain't tough. And it at some point, when we gonna throw the flag? That's what I'm saying. How young do we want them to start being to do this?
I get what you're saying, but you asked the question as to why. I'm giving you the answer as to why they're doing it, why they may be doing it. But at the same time, we've got to figure out how to stop it. And you tell me what you think needs to happen. Okay, let me go to a couple of comments. It says the Dope Boy scenes back in the day when Dope Boys had it all, everybody wanted to do it and wanted to have it.
I mean, yeah, I heard that. You know what I'm
and she
saying?
said
It's
that
easy money, but
the house down the street looks like they live nice. That's breaking. She's going into why people think that. And she says we're talking about survival.
but
Yeah,
okay.
okay. So you're saying as to why they do this, why they ain't gotta
So
do that.
I get it, right? Oh,
What? Give me some examples, or give me some ways to solve this problem.
okay.
Because it's a
First of all,
problem that needs to be
I
solved.
give you an example, not to say that that if you gonna do this, do it like Meech did.
Okay.
Meaning, if you gonna move work, get unified. You don't
Right.
have to kill somebody to sell a product. Point blank. Like, it's the greed, it's the disdain, it's our dislike, our
I agree with you
distrust
100%.
that's making us do this. It ain't the drugs that's making nobody do it. It ain't the guns that's making nobody do it. It ain't even the music. It's doing what the music is saying. It's us buying into not liking each other. Ain't no song gonna make me ride on nobody. Ain't no song gonna make me slide on nobody. Ain't no song gonna make me get no 30 clip, no 50 shot clip and shoot at somebody 100 times. Because if you look at it, it makes no sense. When you listen to these people try to say why they in the shit, they sound drugged the fuck up. They sound dumb, inaudible. We don't even know what they talk about. It's a whole subculture and language that they got going on. And it just need to be cleaned up.
Okay, well, how do we do that?
One, we don't need to be endorsing it and condoning it and acting like it. Okay, somebody parents to these kids, yank their ass up. Start telling them, man, nah, this shit ain't working. Like, no. You see, get them away from it. Don't buy them the clothes and shit that they want to look like that.
Okay.
Have more things in the community for them to do. Shit. Once again, like I said, if you had an OG or older person, or older male figure for them to look up to that ain't doing that, that can get it, shit, start promoting it more. Make that shit cool. The girls gotta start liking people that don't do that.
Right.
Rather than like the ones that do. They don't like it when they get shot at and when they gotta go bail somebody out, or when their kids get shot, or when they getting locked up about it. If you don't like it then, why the fuck are you liking it while you're doing it?
Okay, I get that.
I mean, like, I'll put it to you like this.
Are nominal things, and they're good to think about and say, but at the same time, you said people got to use their mind. How do we get these children to use their minds and their thought processes and for the better? How do we do that? What do we do?
By showing them some things that they can relate to.
Okay.
One thing I can tell you like this, going down some of the shit that they were doing is stressful. Like, you can't tell me that you are living a happy life, that you are not stressed, if every day you walk out the house, you either got to worry about being locked up, or you got to worry about being shot, or you got to rob somebody to get your food on table. That right there is not a happy life. Whoever's doing that, you can sit them down and they're not going to be happy.
Right.
It ain't no way.
I'm 100%. I agree.
So, with that being said,
well, how do we make them happy though? What if that's not a happy life, and they continue to do it, and they know it's not happy because they're sitting down, you're looking at them, you can see the unhappiness in their face. How do you dissuade them to do other things?
Well,
what can we do? I mean, I get what you're saying. I want to be able to help our youth to do better, but we got to figure out a way to do better.
So, one, you got to start going to the schools and start talking to them while they're in school before they drop out.
Okay.
Which currently I do have a squad, and that's what we're doing. The ones that are a little bit harder, you gotta separate them. That don't mean throw them away. You gotta pull them aside and it take more.
Okay.
If the parents are in their lives, see, some of these kids, their parents ain't in their life.
True.
So now it's gonna take a lot of time and a lot of work, because if you gotta rehab a parent, then shit, that's gonna take some time,
take a lot of time.
Because now you got to get the parent to be all right, then the parent and the kid got to be back all right, and you in the middle of all that shit.
Right.
So, but you do have to understand, all of this is by design. They want it hard for us to be able to put families back together. They want folks like us to be like, fuck it, I can't deal with it. I don't want to have that headache. They want that.
Right.
Because
I agree with you.
Because they understand, if you take the few that's strong, that's about family, that's willing to help somebody rehab, that's willing to pull somebody up by the bootstraps. If you break our spirits, if you make us give up on everybody, then it's fucked.
Then dominoes fall.
Yeah. Because
all the dominoes falls if the foundation is weak and collapses.
Yeah,
so
you take our Tupacs, you take our Malcolms, you take our Marcus Garveys, you take our H-Raps and all that, and you muzzle them and get them out of the way. After a while, you ain't got nobody left.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, and those things that you're talking about are very much needed.
I give you something right now that this is what I didn't like. Where our ex-president at? Where he at? Where was he anyway?
Right.
When he was here.
Right.
But I'm saying, where I don't see no like where this motivational speaking.
Right.
Where the talking to us in the time of need. You see what I'm saying?
Which one you talking about, Obama?
You hit it.
Right. Okay. Well, I think I
you made money though off of books and movies and shit.
Right. I get what you're saying, and I can't answer that question for you. But I can say this: we have to stop as black folks waiting for Obama and all of them to come in and save us. We got to do this thing on our own, man. We got to realize that we are out here flapping in the wind by ourselves. And once we realize that, then things could maybe be better and we all could be stronger. But we can't even organize crime. So how we gonna organize us as a collective coming together and building things and making our future brighter? We sit back, we say, where's Obama? And don't get me wrong, first black president, great, whatever. But we are within this city, we are within this community, we are within this neighborhood. We have to build from the ground up. And we have to realize that us taking care of us is the best solution to us having a brighter future. It's just no other way it can be done. I'm sorry. We can't wait for president, this person, or mayor, this person, or
this
governor,
all I
this
gotta
person.
say,
We
right?
got to do it.
This all I gotta say, right? So, like, let's just say how if Frankie Beverly came to Lakewood Amphitheater.
Okay.
You know, people gonna go there to hear him sing or whatever. A certain amount of people want to show up.
Right.
Imagine, like, let's say Obama say, I want to come to Lakewood Amphitheater and I want to talk to Atlanta and I want to get this start motivating some people to do this. We're gonna do this once a month, and we're gonna start taking up money. We're gonna have an itinerary. We're gonna have a flash point to talk about, and we're gonna go out and we're gonna start building up our neighborhoods and taking them back. Okay. If he decided to do that, do you know how many people would show up and start doing that shit?
I don't know, but it won't be as many as Frank will show up to see Frankie
When he
Beverly
first came, it'll be a lot of people that'll show up though, right?
Right.
That's all you need.
But how do you do that in every neighborhood, in every city, in every town? How do you do that?
When you do it in one city and it becomes successful, then you take that model and go to another one. And then you hey man, hold on. Once again, if Meech can goddamn link motherfuckers in Cali, New York, Detroit, and Atlanta on dope in Florida, man. Right. Come on, bro. We gotta be crafty enough to link a movement to be able to do some shit.
I'm just asking you a question. How do we get him to go to every? And why do we need him? This is what I'm trying to get.
Well, see, that's the thing.
Why do we need him to do this?
But don't nobody want to listen to your average Joe. So
you have to get some of them people.
Shit, he won't even do it in Chicago.
You have to get. Hey, that's true.
So
you have to get some of these people who are.
My thing is some of these people voted. A lot of these people voted for him. You know, they had belief in this shit.
Okay. If we're trying to get people who wants to motivate a crowd within the neighborhood. Let's get when we talk about who can draw a crowd. Let's get some of these artists to do it. Let's get some of these people who
they do, and guess what happens? We get entertained by them.
Okay, well they can't entertain. They got
see what I'm saying?
Positive light.
They don't want to do that. They get paid to entertain.
But you expect Obama to want to do it.
And I expect someone that wanted to be the leader of our country to continue this shit. Man, you went on a campaign to get you there. You stop now? What was I? You led us to this motherfucker. Now you gonna quit leading? Yeah. Oh, you quit leading after 4 years? We ain't worth shit no more. That's why I don't do politics, bro.
You expect Obama to do something that
I expect him to be the man that he was for them 8 years.
Bush 2 is not doing. You expect him to do these things. But what about the rest of them? They always presidents.
I didn't ask for them. I don't expect them to do shit for us. Reaganomics put us behind. They did what they wanted to do to us. Okay, Clinton put that 3 strikes and shit in play. They did what they were gonna do with us. So where Obama at to help maybe negate all this shit?
Yeah, you put more power in him than he probably has. Man, but I get what you're saying. I already knew that. I get what you're saying, and I can appreciate what you're talking about and the passion you have for it. But what I'm trying to tell you is That's great. That's a great sentiment. But until we can get him to come do that or convince him that that needs to happen, what are we going to do until then?
So
how are we going to solve this problem within our neighborhood until then?
That goes with, I don't understand why, as a culture, we have the perception that the government is going to help us.
But you just
do
said,
shit for us.
No.
I said should have. I said where. I didn't say. I know. Come on, man. Anybody that know me, you can rewind and go scroll all through my Facebook, and I'll tell you, oh, here we go again with this shit. Come on, man.
But because, I mean, we can't expect politicians, whoever they are, to help us. We got to help us, man.
Whoa. I will say this. The gripe that I have is this. So, we good for your votes for 8 years, but after that, we not good for nothing?
Exactly, we not.
Oh, well then,
that's it. That's with all of them.
Then you weren't good for me for nothing.
Democrat, period. They only show up when it's time for an election.
So why we keep going through this song and dance?
Exactly. That's why
I don't.
You are hitting the nail on the head. That's why I say we have to do it for ourselves. Because like you just said, they only show up when it's time for an election. Regardless of who it is, they only show up when it's time for an election. So why not do it for ourselves? Why not make what we have more valuable than what they perceive it to be? Why not do that? Why can't we do that? It's been done before. Why can't it be done now?
So look at it like this. All right, so here we go now. We got I'm with her. I'm with her now. Okay. I see this, and you already know who that is. I
get what you're saying. Yes, I've seen that. Thing,
and like, we jumping out with her for what? What's gonna happen now? What you with? What has she done now for you to be with her in the future? Like, what the fuck?
Let me tell you something.
Get on it no more, bro.
I get what you're saying, but we have to realize that politicians, Democrats, Republicans are the same side, are different ends of the same snake. We just decide what side of the snake you just gonna grab. That's all it is.
I don't grab snakes. I don't fuck with snakes.
But most people, I'm not gonna tell people that they shouldn't vote because that's not my place. I think voting is a very important thing. But at the same time, we have to realize that we put so much emphasis on a presidential election that really doesn't affect our everyday. We have to realize that it's those local jokers. There's these local folks that will fuck us up more than the president will. There's these local jokes these local jokers that when you have a pothole on your main street in your community that needs to get fixed, you have to call them. You don't call the president. So we put a lot of this stuff on presidential when it doesn't really mean shit. So we got to think about the mayor, the city council, the governor, the DA, all those folks within our neighborhood that affects our everyday. Those are the things that we need to vote on and get out or in or whatever we need to do to make our children's lives better.
I'm gonna tell you something funny. Now, I'm gonna tell you something funny. No. You want to make our children's life better? We really need to do what the fuck we not doing, and that is put our money back into us and into our hood.
You the just said what I said earlier.
No. Listen,
do it for ourselves.
No. Listen, we clearly that. But what I'm saying is, we would rather go vote, right? But these people ain't got to vote to get their streets good in Buckhead and shit like that, because they money already circulating in there. They gonna get that shit done regardless of who in office. Okay. Look at how the streets get done when they want to gentrify some shit over here. Now the shit get done.
And that's exactly you are repeating what I said in another way. That's how we take care of ourselves. We make sure that they understand that our money but they do vote. Their voting block is strong. Let's not put out the perception on this perception show that people in Buckhead don't vote and they still get things done because they do vote. Okay. And they do things. So
let me explain this to you.
And we need to make our money strong.
You think, okay, some of them vote. It doesn't matter if they vote or not. They got the damn politician is related to them. The politician is their pocket. They vote for shits and giggles. It don't matter whether they vote or not. The judge is related to them. This shit nepotism and inherited. So what difference does it make for them? You see what I'm saying? We think we the one playing into the system and still getting the short end of the stick because we don't understand put our money where our mouth is at least. Shit, if I can't get the politician to do it, I'll do it my goddamn self. Pay for it myself. But we don't do that. What we do is we complain that the neighborhood fucked up when we fucking it up. Then next thing you know, the taxes get run down. Then the next thing you know, the property run down. Then somebody come in there, buy the property, fix it up. Oop, now here come the gentrification process and fix everything. Now the city gonna come in and fix everything. Because guess what? Somebody wanna build up on the property, which is what we should be damn doing.
Exactly. And when you see that house going down, and you see that house is not, and there may be an 89-year-old woman in that house who can't afford to fix it up, you go see, as us taking care of us, as you just said, making sure our money goes farther within our neighborhood, we go over there, we see if we can fix that lady house up and make it better for her and see what she needs. Because to be honest with you, a lot of these houses that we are losing within gentrification is grandma's house.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
House is granddad's
but
house
guess
that they
what?
paid thousands
But guess
of dollars
what?
for, and we don't pay the taxes.
No. But guess what?
And that's
but
our fault.
And some of it's because of it. The kids was on crack, or kids ended up selling dope, or ended up just not being able to take care of it. Or sometimes they want to move out the neighborhood that they claim that they from instead of put back into it. There's a whole bunch of different reasons. I'm over there, so I see it, and trust me, I know.
But I get what you're
saying. And they make them dope houses, and the next thing you know, we don't. You know what I'm saying?
We're trying to get. Me and you are getting to the same street, but just down different pathways. You get what I'm saying? We're trying to. We're debating about doing it for ourselves and making sure our neighborhood is good for us, but we're just driving down two different streets to get there.
With that being said, if we can go down two different streets, that actually means it's a third street. So that means, damn,
we
man.
don't want to add the third street.
No. But my thing is, why ain't somebody going down these streets with us? Because if we know these streets exist, like I say, it's a third street too.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, in this street,
you got to make the bullhorn louder so they can hear it, I guess.
I mean, a lot of this shit we already know.
A lot of this shit, all of us know.
So why don't we do better then? Because we just talking about perceptions. So
Right.
my thing is, if we know this and we ain't doing it, if we know this and we letting our youth act crazy and crash out, if we know this and we running around and we don't give back, we don't support, we don't do the little bit we supposed to do, we fucked up.
Right. I'm not gonna argue with you on that. If we see it happening, we don't do nothing to try to stop it. Yeah, we fucked up. But that's all goes to us trying to make sure that we do it for ourselves and realize that if we don't help and do something for us within our people, then we fucked up. We can't complain about what goes on if we don't try to help it.
Here's what I see a lot of too. Because you said it, do for ourselves. See, some people take that do for ourselves and they do for themselves, and that's it, them and them only.
Right.
They don't give back. They don't each one teach one or nothing. Like, I don't really even want, I can't be successful without having someone else be successful with me.
Right.
Because one, I'm going to need some help. So that means we both are. And then if in the process, I'm going to bring somebody up with me anyway. Because.
As you should.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't get it because a lot of the time, like, there's so many people out here that aren't able to achieve their goal and not even working towards it. One, because they know they need help, but they so selfish, they're not going to either ask for the help or they just put it to the side because they want a selfish person going to do everything themselves.
Or they've asked for the help and got shot down on it. So they don't want to put themselves out there with that again. That's the third road.
Well,
the second road.
I've seen a lot of people try, and I know the type of person that they are, right? So you can ask to help them. I've asked to help them when they were trying it, and they wouldn't allow it. You see what I'm saying? And so next thing you know, they ain't doing nothing, but they still, you're right, I got to. They still want to do it though, but they ain't figured out you can't do certain things by yourself. You can't build a house by yourself.
Right.
You can try it.
It's gonna take a very long time.
Shit. How you gonna get the studs up?
Right.
Who gonna help you put the roof on top?
Right.
The foundation. You can try it, but somebody gonna have to hold something for your ass at one point, a ladder or something.
But that's the thing. You can try it until you can't try it no more. Then that's when you eventually have to ask for help. You get what I'm saying? You can start building the house.
You can start.
They can start.
But you're gonna get to a point where
all you need to do is sit out there and go,
At some point, he gonna need my help.
Right, right.
See
You know
what
what
I'm
I'm saying?
saying? But now-
And even though that's selfish on our
Yeah,
part,
but
and that's
see,
kind of salty, but
it
if
ain't.
you asked already and they turned you down, then you gotta sit back and go.
That's a
"Shit."
sure bet, though. You the sure bet. They
Right,
ain't.
Right.
So my thing is, I can bet now that you're not gonna succeed because you're not gonna help nobody and you don't accept help.
But then when you know that the help is going to be needed, and you sit back and you say, and you offered help and they said no, then you say to yourself, well, shit, eventually you're gonna need my help. Now at that point, it's on you.
Yeah.
Do you give the help when they finally ask you for it, because you know it's coming? You know it's coming. You've already offered, and they said, no, I'm good. But you know in your heart, you be like, I don't know how he gonna put that wall up,
So-
that side of that building up without my help. And you sit back and you wait for the help to be asked. Do you turn it down, say, no, I'm good, I'm not gonna be able to help you, or do you go ahead and help anyway?
It depends on that person and their mentality, like how if they belittled me when I
Right.
wanted to help them,
Right.
you know, or if it's a lesson they gotta learn, like,
Right.
Like, nah, you gonna learn this one right here because you said you didn't want it, so you gonna walk this shit through today.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
How is, and
But if
I
it's
agree
something
with
that
you
I know,
100%.
it-
Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna sit back and go, I
Yeah.
offered, and now you struggling,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna think about how you turned me down.
But see, now you gonna have me debate whether your worth is worth me helping you,
Right.
because there's some people right now that they on my mental chopping block. They on my moral chopping block. Like,
Right.
when I get where I need to get to, am I even going to acknowledge you because of what I've had to go through with you?
Right.
Like, there's a lot to be said about someone that's trying to give you a silver spoon and you tarnish that bitch and put it down. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? So later on, I'm gonna keep the silver spoon because it has worth, and I'm gonna
Right.
polish it back up. Now I'm gonna put it in the glass case. But I don't know if I want you fucking with it anymore because
You tarnished it the first time.
and you've had your opportunity and you didn't accept it, you didn't respect it, nothing. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? So
Right.
now I might give you a wooden spoon to remember the silver one back.
As you should.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
giving you a good example. We used to always help nonprofits. We try to help out nonprofits and all this for the help of the black youth and all that stuff. And we got burned by it. And my decision is, do I help them again, or do I take those few burns and just don't help none of them no more? How do I see? I'm sitting. I got a moral compass to think about. How do I navigate that?
So this how my compass handles that. What's the severity of the burns?
They were severe to me.
Oh, fuck it. I was gonna say
Because you have to. I mean, they may not be severe to you. You get what I'm saying?
okay.
So you might be like, man, wipe that shit out,
So,
keep
yeah,
going.
if this is-
But to me, they're severe.
So to me, it's like, if the burns aren't severe, then me helping the nonprofits because of how many things what they're gonna do, like how many people they're gonna touch,
Right.
I'ma roll with it. But if it's eating at me, if it's anything that makes me uncomfortable or disturbs my peace, I can't do it.
Right. Okay. I
Because
respect that.
because me, it's more about you.
Right.
Like, when I say be selfish about your feelings, cool. Because if you're not feeling right, you can't help nobody.
Right.
But don't be selfish in meaning like how you distribute your energy as far as competitive being, like,
Right.
I want to help. That's all I'm saying. So
Right. Right.
But I did say I want to say this too as far as perceptions. I feel like sometimes we feel like we have to force relationships. And that is, it can be intimate relationships or it can be business relationships.
Okay.
We don't be misperceived into thinking that you have to force an intimate relationship, maybe just because you have a child or just because you like somebody. You want to do something drastic to try to keep that person, like force a marriage on somebody or something like that. Like,
Right.
I think that's a perception we don't need to have. Or force relationships business-wise because you think somebody got a lot of money.
Right.
Or you don't necessarily know how they got that money. Or because you think somebody very popular, you want to force a relationship with them that you may not necessarily be at peace with.
I mean, there was a video just recently before we started this show where they had fans of the Sukiyana girl sucking her toes.
Oh man, come on.
That's a
like,
force to me. Like, why I'm doing this? I don't know where your feet been, but that just
like,
go back to that what you just said. Trying to force that connection with this person.
Yeah.
Because they popular.
Well, see, a lot of people now, now that I will say, I'm gonna touch on it. Like, it's really forced, but people don't think it's forced now because of the powers that be slick with it. You know, they dangle money at the end of it, or some type of access. But it's you really being forced into a contract you might not want to be in, forced on a label. You technically don't want to be on it, but what they offering you seems better than what you think you have to give up until the long run, until they start collecting too. And see, a lot of times people go up under one thing under a guise, but then it really seems forced later on when it's like, damn, it's 2 years from now, and I still got to do this? Are you still trying to collect? Whoa, that is forced now. You see what I'm saying? When you thought it was a little bit easier in the beginning.
And so, you see that a lot with a lot of artists complaining about their contracts.
Oh yeah, they want to get up out of it.
Yeah.
They feel like they don't own anything anymore. And like misperception can be like you don't think people are in too deep when they really are. A lot of y'all don't understand sometimes social security numbers and driver's license and addresses get attached to this shit. You see what I'm saying? Bank account info get attached to some of these deals. So when you decide you want to stop doing something or expose somebody, a button get pressed, and next thing you know, you ain't got no more income.
Right.
And now you be feeling like, oh, what can I do? Or sometimes people drug you. Put you on something.
We'll go need that right there because I know somebody who experienced that firsthand. And when I was in Chicago, he was a principal of school. He was doing great things.
Wow.
Went out. Somebody,
Oh yeah, well you
dropped
know,
some in his drink and his whole mind got scrambled.
Yeah, you know, and I don't like that nowadays too because we living in days and times where people will do that to you more frequently or like it's there and like it's nothing. You see what I'm saying? I saw on a post, man, and I commented on that. It was a beautiful young lady, man. Just walked up into a gas station and started twerking on the cash on the counter, and was looking like she was out of her mind. And thank goodness someone decided to try to help her in this situation because they understood based on how she looked that there's some people that are trying to take advantage of her sexually. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I got a daughter, man, and I wouldn't want her out there bad like that. You know what I'm saying? That'll make me black out.
Yeah.
You know,
right. You 100%.
Because people taking advantage of people when you do that, and that's not someone consenting to that. So yeah, man, just be aware of your surroundings, man, and just because something look like something don't always mean it is. A lot of times, man, when you travel, man, travel with people you can trust nowadays. Don't be misconceived and get the perception that y'all going on this little group thing, and next thing you know, they set your ass up. They sizing you up, or plotting on you.
Know who you call your friends.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the things I would like to say. I think we touched on a lot today, though.
Slick says because you act like you the shit, so they want to bring you down.
Yeah, it's a lot of that goes on now. Like me, well, I don't really tend to gravitate to or hang around people that think they the shit.
Right.
But I do know people that are the shit to me because they are successful and they did it in a righteous and a positive way.
They might not even think that they the shit. They might just be confident.
Yeah, well, there's a difference between confidence and arrogance.
Right.
And I know it when I see it.
Right.
Unfortunately, I'm not around a lot of people like that. But I will say this to say, man, anytime I was around someone that had more than me, I didn't do anything but salute them, man.
Right.
Like, these are things and lessons and methods you would want to learn. You don't want to go learn how to burn a bridge or be disrespectful or try to rob someone when they have something of value. Like, damn, if you listen to them, damn, they may be able to teach you to have more.
Right.
Because you never know the method they may give you. You may excel in it better than they did.
And tweak it to make
exactly
simple
to
as
work
much.
for you.
Right.
Which is what I started doing. Like, that's kind of some of the reason why I got my new vehicle, because I was just like, you know, I took the bull by the horn and I was like, man, you know, I'm able to afford something. I'm able to do better for myself. I've been in this thing for a long time. Why not? Treat my, and then I looked at those before me. I listened to some of what my elders were saying. Some of it I didn't do. Like I didn't get what they wanted me to get. I got what I wanted.
Right.
But I learned.
But that adds value to you. Now you can get to where you need to go. You can go further distance. You can do more things. You can act in more movies. You
and
know
see,
what I'm saying?
yeah, but listen though. But that same elder that told me to get something that I didn't get, now they like, oh shit. Okay, they respect me more, and now they're telling me what to do to maintain it.
Right.
And now they like, now they want me to, they want to ride and show it off with me.
Right.
I'm gonna invite you to this so you can bring that pretty motherfucker up here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But respect, like when you get your elders respect, and they didn't say anything like, "Boy, I told you you shouldn't do that. Why you go out there and get that?"
Right.
That let me know. Okay, you know, I was ready for it, and I changed their perception of me.
Right.
Like, you know, they understood that, you know, I can handle this type of shit.
Right. You don't have no problem.
Yeah. So I say all of that to say, the lessons that I've learned from tonight is, one, be you. Make the difference in the change in your life that you want to make. Don't wait on anyone. Don't be misconceived and don't have a misconception and don't misperceive anything. You know, don't really buy into what you see at face value all the time. Believe in yourself. Believe in others. Help others. Unite. Like I say, man, if we all were to just try to help, do something for someone, be that middleman that connects the whole puzzle, and I think we can make a change. I think the change that we need to make, because I was noticing how a lot of times we'll change like for a fad or a trend as society change, but we tweak some of our character as we do that. If anything, just adapt more positive. But like, I try to keep the same morals, the each one teach one in the golden rule, as things in my environment change around me, so something can be solidified. And there you have it. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. We'll be back next week and have something else good to talk about. I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah. Grams leaders CCs, pounds. Close cash, close call, close encounter, close up. Pounds of liters of grams, get your dose up. Cut this up, host up, and get dosed up. This for them vote, they like to move and make the most of. Monday night at 8, I can't wait to set you straight. These opinions and debates, for them folk they can't relate. I got to elevate your mind through these signs of the time. Dishing out that medication for that deaf dummy.